Hi guys. Well, I have videos that I uploaded. I just got to get them on. I try to finish them because sometimes I talk about stuff, then later on I'm like, oh man, because usually I was going to do something before it, or add to it. And so the days lag, and then days later I end up putting them on because I don't have time to do them. But hmm, you know, I'm going to get a lot of flack for this. I'm sure I am. Well, that's all right. It's not like I haven't had it before. My videos are not for everybody. Said it from day one. I know you guys are tired of hearing this, but it's true. They're not for everybody. When I was assigned, because that's what I was, to do these, first of all, I had no intention of ever doing them. Ever. Ever, ever. I'm an outgoing person. I really am. But to do YouTube, no. No desire. No desire to do it. What am I going to do? Kids put a dancing one on me years ago. I had a fit. Never been shy. I've been able to talk to anybody and everybody my entire life. But when I started to do these, knew out of the gate, weren't for everybody. The ones that they're not for, come and go. They wouldn't get them. Some would, but the ones who they weren't for really wouldn't get it. Wouldn't get me. They wouldn't believe. Okay, they wouldn't believe. But the ones who got me, the minute you started watching, you knew. You felt it. You knew. It was like, I get her. I understand how she's saying that. I get that. You're the ones who are for. I don't know. I keep saying, I don't know. I don't know how he chose who he chose. I don't know. But I do know this. I do know what we have thought, what we have learned our entire life. Our entire life, okay? Not only our life, generations upon generations upon generations upon generations upon generations, okay? All the way back, right? They were taught a certain way. Now you have to remember, we weren't there when it started being taught, okay? And when the changes came in, and when that person started, intercepting or started understanding the word in a certain way, okay? And then therefore it went out to be taught that way all the way till today. I will say this a million times. Absolutely, I believe the Bible. Absolutely. Is it the inspired word of God? Absolutely it is. Absolutely it is. But again, I will say this 1,000 times too. It's been down here in the hands of man and the enemy. It was written by men. It was written by men. Okay? Now, is God in control of that? Absolutely he is. And he has his reasons. He has his reasons. If he allowed change in something, if he allowed something to be moved or removed, there's a reason, good reason. It usually has to do with faith. It really does. It usually has to do with faith. It has to do with he loves the overcomers. He loves those that find the truth through the interruptions, through the detours, okay? He loves those that find him and his truth through all of that. No matter what has happened to detour a person from finding that, the fact that at the end they found it and they're standing there loving him, and it's a faith thing, okay? And that's why he allows those to happen. But We were taught specific things. Most all of us Christians, evangelical Christians, or people who believe in, who know Revelation and believe Revelation is literal, not allegorical, okay? That we believe that the tribulation, the great tribulation, is an actual events time period that will happen, because we believe the words of the Bible, right? Yes. Okay. We all have believed and thought that it's going to go in this certain way, okay? That'd be 7 years, and all the order that goes in. That the rapture happens first. That the church, okay, is taken in the twinkling of an eye, right? Before it all starts. Then the Antichrist will come on the scene. The 2 witnesses will come to Jerusalem. The Psalm 83 war. Syria will be in rubble. Not Syria, and Damascus will be in rubble in one day. The oldest thriving city. Just you know what they are. Okay, we just forever, and we've watched for this. We always watched Israel. We watched for these things because there was an order that we knew it was going to go in, because that's how it was taught, right? And that's how it read. That's what was taught. Well, I believed it. I'm right there. Hey, I'm right there. But now, oh my gosh. Okay, obviously, we have eyes, okay? We have eyes. We have a brain. We have a heart. We can see things are not quite going as we had thought it was going to. It's kind of jumped in some places and stalled in others, but then jumped back and, what's going on? Where are we at? What's going on? What are we doing? I thought, that pretty much looks like that, but how can that be? Because this hasn't happened yet. So that can't be right. That can't be what I think it is, because that thing hasn't happened yet. So what is that? I'm telling you, it's not like we've been taught. It's not like we've been taught. There are things. The order is not right. The order's not right. I mean, things have been moved, things have been tweaked, things have been removed, things have been enhanced. God allowed it. God allowed this to His Word. He allowed this to happen throughout the years, okay? He totally allowed it. And usually when He allows that, it's for faith reasons, okay? I mean, He's got, He knows everything. It's His way. And He knows. He's got a plan. There's always, He knows. We don't know. We don't know. And that's the problem. It's because we don't know. So, well, He didn't, I didn't get the memo. You didn't get the memo. We didn't get the memo on that, God. So what do you mean? That's what it is. We don't know. Well, I told you, it's faith. It's about faith with Him. Huge, huge, huge. You just have to stand in that faith. And you have to look around you, and you have to see, well, Lord, things are not going like I have been taught for all them years, okay? But Lord, I know what those things are that's happening, I do. And so I'm going to have to look at another way here, that I'm going to open my heart, Lord. I'm going to listen to you, listen to my spirit, okay? Because that is where you reside with Him, you understand? That's where your connection to the Lord is. It's in your spirit, not your flesh. Your flesh is what wants you to say, no, this is the way it is, and I'm not budging, and you must be nuts, or it's your flesh, okay? But the Lord, He's in the spirit, okay? And that's where you have to be. That's where I have to be. And that is where He teaches us. That is where He talks to us. That is where He's showing us, okay? That's where you learn, is in the spirit. You don't learn in the flesh. You react in the flesh. You react to everything. Your emotions, when you react to anything, it's in the flesh. Okay? But you learn from the Lord and the spirit. So, you need to stand in the spirit. You need to stand in that spirit. You need to listen and truly ask for divine sight and divine hearing and divine wisdom and divine understanding. But you have to see what he's putting in front of you, not what you think should be in front of you or think should be happening next, what actually is. Because it's different. Am I saying all of it? No, I'm not saying all of it. I'm not saying all of it. But I'm saying it's different. Okay? It's different. And I told you, the patterns, everything. When he said there's nothing new under the sun, that was a huge clue right there. You know? And boy, people will quote that scripture all the time, won't they? Oh, there's nothing new under the sun. It's gonna, what does that mean? Really, think about it. What does it mean? This is what we have to do. We have to think about these words. They were not just said and written just cause. Just cause. Everyone has meaning. And I'm telling you, I have found the simplest ones have the largest meaning, the largest ripple. But nothing new under the sun. That means nothing new can happen. It's already had to happen. Okay? Could the Lord change it? Absolutely he could. Against God, he could do anything. But he won't. He won't go against his word. He won't go against his spoken word. He already spoke it. You understand that? And again, people say, well, why doesn't God stop that? Why doesn't God? Because he spoke it already. He already spoke it. Okay? He's not going to withdraw it. Okay? His words do not come back to him void. Meaning, whatever he says, whatever he declares, whatever he speaks, has to manifest. It has to play out. Okay? Because if it didn't, it would come back to him void. And he says, nothing comes back to me void. Okay? And he will not change it because he's holy. And he will go with what he said. He will never change. He will never change. And that is why it has to play out. Okay. Can he soften some stuff? Can he make things not as harsh? Yes, he could. Yeah, he could. And that's in his mercy category. And that is so we have to pray. Our prayers are huge. Prayers are huge. We have to pray. We have to pray for the United States because they're going to get it. Bam. Bam. The United States is going to get it bad. I mean, I can't even tell you guys. You think you know. I think I know. We all think we know. It's going to be so much worse than we could fathom. And it's never happened before. Okay? So these things have never happened before to the United States. I mean, these things have happened around the world to other countries. But we've been spoiled. We've been sassy. We've been, snooty, snotty. We've taken everything for granted. And that's what I'm talking about when I say never happened before. I mean, never happened before to the United States. But we've never had war. I mean, obviously, this, Revolutionary Civil War things. But I mean, during the time that we know, we've never had a world war, on our soil. We've never been invaded. I mean, the Civil War was Americans against Americans. But what are you going to do when you got foreigners? Because that's going to happen. Going to happen. But this has been a really, it's been a long time. I mean, he's been warning a long time. He's been showing people a long time what's happening, what's coming. Okay? So then in these past couple of years, Jesus himself came to people, groups of people, to whatever, to teach them, okay? To teach them the truth, okay? To fill in the blanks, all right? To answer the questions, to give heavenly sight and wisdom. Everything, and that's what we missed. That's what we missed. All these years everybody missed it. It's the patterns. Because if there's nothing new under the sun, it has to repeat itself, okay? Patterns. Patterns. We weren't looking for the patterns. Everything is a pattern. Everything. He did it. The Old Testament is the New Testament concealed. The New Testament is the Old Testament revealed. Okay? But New Testament just repeated the patterns of the Old Testament. And what he's given to everybody in teaching now, it's so very important that you know this and you believe it. But if you don't, you know, that's between you and God. That's between you and God. The people who found me, they were supposed to. Because God knew, he knew their prayers. He knew their heart, okay? He knew what they were searching for. He knew the questions they had, all right? I never know what I'm going to talk about. Never knew what I was going to talk about, ever.